Hello everyone. My name is Phil Sutton. I've been developing a company called Orbital Solutions for the last couple of years now, and I keep seeing more and more news articles about problems we have today with society and not really being able to do anything about it because people don't really have another choice or another option. And that's what I want to talk to you about with this video because the company I've been working on is a concept. I've taken it to construction companies and they said that is completely possible, and I need to turn this concept into reality and I need your help for it. Please reach out to me if you have any questions, if you have any comments. Just let me know what your feedback is. If you're an investor, you can contact me. I'll give you that information. Right now I'm going to go over some of the details with you, and I look forward to hearing from you. This article came out 5 days ago. It's titled Untold Human Suffering, 11,000 Scientists from All Across the World Unite to Declare Global Climate Emergency. The next line is, despite 40 years of major global negotiations, we conduct business as usual and have failed to address this crisis. The next article is, the U.S. military could collapse within 20 years due to climate change, report commissioned by Pentagon says. So if 11,000 scientists from all across the world doesn't do it for you, maybe the Pentagon will from America. This paragraph right here says the senior U.S. government officials who wrote the report from several key agencies, including the Army, Defense Intelligence Agency, and NASA. The study called on the Pentagon to urgently prepare for the possibility that domestic power, water, and food systems might collapse due to the impacts of climate change as we near the mid-century. And more specifically, it says the next 20 years. So by 2039, our domestic power, water, and food systems, it's predicted by America, is going to collapse. I'm going to keep going over these three things, but we're going to continue on with some more articles. We've all heard of Greta Thunberg. She's rallying more and more people for climate action. But what kind of climate action? It's just a really big question. We just need to do something. We just don't really know what. One of the systems that's going to break down is power. So the next article I have up is Use of Energy Explained from the U.S. Energy Information Administration. It lists different types of homes, and I'm going to talk about the highest percentage for the top three categories. So up to 50% of our annual costs every month in power is spent on heating our homes, up to 10% on air conditioning, and up to 33% on heating our water. So those three combined is almost 80% of what we spend our power on every month. Is there any other solutions to let those numbers or help those numbers go down so we're not spending as much money on that? No. Once these systems get in place, do we ever have to buy a new refrigerator? Do we have to fix our hot water tank or get a new one? Or how about our air conditioner or our heater for our homes? We absolutely have to fix them and replace them. Do we have to worry about our old ones? No. Some recent articles came out. The U.S. is rapidly running out of landfill space. So in addition to, us having to spend money on those every month, we actually have to buy new ones. And it's only helping landfill space be used up. So what's the answer to having all these appliances that we need in our homes? One of the systems that's going to break down is water, it's predicting in the next 20 years, but it's actually happening right now. Cape Town's Day Zero water crisis 1 year later. So this happened last year. This is almost old news at this point in time. It's happening in Africa, people are saying. Well, in America, the Flint water crisis since 2014 is still going on. Initially, our response was to send them bottled water. I keep seeing articles for millennials come out. To retire at 65, millennials will need to save nearly half their paycheck. Another one, here's why millennials won't be able to afford a home until retirement. So the future's looking really bleak and grim for the next generation. For millennials, it's saying here. For Generation Z, it's going to be even worse. And for the generation that's being born right now, even more bleak. Alright, now I'm going to go over some of the details with you of the orbital home with this Word document. Orbital Self-Sufficient Homes. This home can be built in almost any environment. It's made out of material that won't degrade for hundreds of years and is insulated in material that will not break down. The home is 1,200 square feet. It has 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths. It's heated and cooled with radiant energy and is solar powered. Each home has a gray water system and new septic solution that's self-contained that doesn't smell and makes extra fuel for colder regions during the winter. Every home comes with a greenhouse that produces foods year-round. Eventually, all home appliances will come with a lifetime warranty. Alright, now I'm going to go over some details with you with the blueprint. Okay, this is the main blueprint for the house. Here's the greenhouse for the food systems I was talking about. Here's one bedroom, here's two bedroom. This is a modular bedroom, so it can be split into two. I can show you details if you'd like in a later video. Here's a utility room, half bath. Here's the full kitchen with a large dining room. Here's a skylight in the kitchen so people can see light during breakfast time. In the middle of the day, this skylight's going to have a lot of light coming in through in the middle of the home. This skylight's 20 feet long by 5 feet wide, so it's massive. And here's a small garden in the center, so this is like the focal point and the centerpiece of the home. Right when you walk in, you can see all the way across the structure, so it looks a lot larger than just, an underground thing that you might look at from the outside. And right here is the fireplace connected to the hot water tank, so when you make a fire, this hot water radiates the heat and the flooring. So in the middle of the wintertime, it uses absolutely no electricity if you want to start a fire here. Here's the television with a large couch where it's a really nice big living room. Here's the full bathroom. The master bedroom is right here. And all the doors are sliding doors, so it saves a lot more floor space. This is the patio out back with the second doorway right here. I talked about the utility room a little bit. Here's the stackable washer and dryer. Here's the water purification system. And here's the Tesla Powerwall that actually connects to the solar panels that are bolted down out here. Here's the greenhouse with the tilapia tanks and the vegetation that you can grow in here. Here's apple and cherry trees right on the outside of the structure as well, so that helps with the food system. Solar panels, the power system. I can't show you the gray water systems that are actually buried, but that helps with the water systems. Back here is the patio where it's fully furnished. You can have breakfast out here or coffee in the middle of the summertime. If you look at the structure and think about a tornado or a hurricane coming through here, it's going to just go right over the structure. Not much damage is going to happen. This is a really hard plastic, so if we have to replace a plastic panel, during hurricane season, it's a lot better than having to replace your entire home. If you think about what this looks like from above, it's a lot less of a human scar than our traditional homes. Right now we would be looking at a roof with a huge patio of concrete, and really we just have the driveway, and for all practical purposes we still do need to drive cars now, so I did include that. After seeing the details of these blueprints and knowing how close to reality it is, you have to be asking yourself some questions. Some of the questions you might be asking yourself is, with this home, what wouldn't we be spending money on? Electricity, water, and food. How much do 120 million American homes spend on their power bills and water bills every month? How much do we spend on taxes for their power plants and the water treatment plants? How much tax money is used on disaster relief funds every year, if these are disaster-proofed homes to a certain degree? What if everyone in America owned one of these homes? How much money would be generated from selling power we produce now to neighboring countries? If 120 million American homes spend $150 a month on power, and 90% of our power bill is taken care of, and the solar panels in our home take care of the other 10%, then how much money would we generate selling our leftover power to Canada and Mexico? What could we spend the excess billions on monthly or trillions on yearly? Well, if we already have electricity, water, and food, the next step I would say is green public transportation for all. And I say for all because if 120 million Americans already own these homes, then why can't green public transportation come with the homes at that point in time? That's a huge contract for any electric car company. After we have transportation, electricity, food, and water taken care of, free online education up to master's degree is a complete possibility. It could be just like Wikipedia, where certain people that have master's degree are allowed to update it with current information. So they're legit sources. After we have online education, after we have transportation, after we're already providing food for ourselves and water and electricity, just by living in these homes, what's the last thing that we could be taken care of? The dream of real free healthcare. It's not just an additional tax that people have to pay more for, even though they might not need it. It's free healthcare. Because if we're not spending money on taxes for these power plants, or if we're getting money from the power plants from selling to other countries still, then it is completely taken care of by one or the other. At that point in time, it's an affordable option for us as a country. Finally, everyone, I'm going to give you my contact information. Here is my website that I'm still in the process of designing. I know it's a little rough right now, but it gives you some details on the idea. It tells you some next steps and distant future goals. On the top, there's also a blog where there's some more related articles to the topic of this idea. On the very bottom of the homepage is my contact information, orbital.colony.solutions@gmail.com. There's my private number. I appreciate anyone's feedback. If you do support me, like this video. If you're an investor, reach out to me and I'll give you an itinerary for the immediate future goals to get the company on the ground. I made this video because everybody's saying we need some kind of climate change, some kind of climate action. We don't really have one yet, and we should all come together and figure out what we do need to do before it is too late. Everyone, thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your feedback and look forward to hearing from you.